is what it is, you know what I mean? You know what it is.
You know you acting like you don't know. You know but you're acting like you don't know. You know you acting like you don't know. You know we
How you doing, Rod? Coming at you from Kingdom Culture. I want to prove to you that it is the unseen realm. The unseen realm that totally controls the seen realm. Next.
You know you acting like you don't know. You know but you're acting like you don't know. You know you acting like you don't know. You know we blood by no show.
That's right, you heard it right. It is the unseen realm that controls this physical seen realm. Let me prove it to you. I want to show you some undeniable principles that you can attest to right now. First of all, you're surrounded by hundreds if not thousands of them right now. They're going through you, they're bouncing around you. You can't see them, you can't feel them, you can't taste them, you can't smell them, but they're real, and I know you believe in them. What am I talking about? I'm talking about radio waves. Waves that are sent and are flying all around. You don't know they're there. The only way you know they're there is because you have probably at some time or another picked up a radio and turned it on, and that radio was equipped with sensitive controls and an antenna, and it came through the speaker and you knew it was real. That is the unseen. That which you cannot see or taste or experience with your physical senses being manifest in the physical. How about, let's try something totally different level here. I don't know if you've ever gone to see a play. I've been in Stratford, I've seen Shakespeare, and those actors and actresses hold the entire audience in an incredible state of suspended fascination through the whole play. And wherever they go, they take you there. They could be in the King's Court, or they could be out on the field of battle, and you feel like you're right there. But if you go behind the scenes to the part you're not supposed to look at, you see what's really making that play happen. You see stage hands running back and forth, you see lighting crews, you see makeup being done, people doing costume changes. It's an absolute chaotic mess back there, but the front part, it's that stuff behind there that's holding together the front part. Now, stay with me because I'm going somewhere with this. The largest building in the world is in the United Emirates, Arab Emirates, and in Dubai. And before anyone ever saw that huge, massive physical monstrosity, it was an intangible, unmeasurable, invisible thought in a man's mind. That's what it was. It was unseen. You couldn't experience it physically, except this man began to write about it, talk about it, inspire others, and eventually the building was there. Now, I'm just laying out a principle for you, a principle of this world, because it is the unseen that originates, controls, and sustains our entire universe. There's only one explanation for the earth we see, and that is that they had to have a cause, and the cause has to be greater than the effect. The cause of our universe and our earth, all of its energy, all of its design, all of its order, could only come from a being that is outside of the limits of time, outside of the limits of space as we know it, and outside the limits of physical stuff. And that describes God. You only have two choices, really. Either everything we see was always here, that it's totally eternal, that it's just a bunch of stuff that has this amazing ability to create life and order and design with all the physical laws that are amazing, which is a religious belief. Or there was a God who's outside of that and is revealing himself spiritually to you, even through this YouTube broadcast. Jesus spoke to a religious leader 2,000 years ago named Nicodemus, and Nicodemus came to him by night and said, Jesus, I know you came from God, because no one can do miracles like you unless they came from God. How can I inherit eternal life? And Jesus immediately used a physical parallel. He used something that Nicodemus could understand to help show him a spiritual truth. And he said, Nicodemus, assuredly I say to you, you must be born again. Now Nicodemus had certainly seen childbirth. I'm sure he had children. He was a leader of a synagogue. He knew about kids. He had relatives. Definitely he understood that. Because the only way you can picture anything is if you've seen it before. I say the word polar bear, you see a polar bear. You still see a polar bear. Why? You don't think in words. You don't think in letters and numbers. You think in pictures. The only way you don't see a polar bear is if you've never seen one before. So God, to show us things we've never seen before, relates them in physical parallel truths. And he said, Nicodemus, you must be born again. And Nicodemus said, listen, what am I supposed to do? Enter a second time to my mother's womb? And Jesus said, no. Flesh is born of flesh. In other words, Jesus is saying, look, the physical realm comes from the physical realm. But spirit is born of spirit. He said, don't marvel that I say you must be born again, or born from above. Nicodemus needed not something from the physical realm, but something from the spiritual realm. And that's called being born again. And that's happened to myself and millions of other Christians. It's not by going to a church. It's not by going to a denomination or an organization. It's by having a spiritual rebirth by faith in Jesus Christ, by accepting Christ as Lord. And it's supernatural, it's very real, and it gives you enough power to be a bold witness even amongst your friends. Now the bottom line is, you have a choice to make. You're either going to hold on to a terribly unsound philosophical position that the earth is eternal and all the world's eternal. It just makes itself, it doesn't make itself. There's nothing philosophical, there's nothing scientific about that. There really isn't. I got to be honest with you, there's not. You can believe it, but it's totally unsound. Or you can understand and believe something that makes a whole lot more sense. And you got people like me and millions of others telling you that God is real. God is true, and God has not only changed my life, but millions. There's atheists out there, lots, who have experienced Christ and are now telling you He's real. There's imams in the Islam faith who have come to Christ, who have been visited, and even though they've been rejected by their families, telling you that Jesus is real. There are Hindus, there are people, Buddhists, who have come to know Christ, been trained and raised in a total different philosophy, but now know Jesus Christ. Not because of a school, not because they're smart, not because of their IQ, but because it was revealed to them, because they humbled themselves and they asked for Jesus. Jesus said, eye has not seen, nor ear heard, nor entered in the heart of man what God has prepared for those that love Him. God has something prepared for you so amazing, but you can't experience it with your physical eyes. You can't experience it with your physical ears, only by your spirit. Now, I'm pleading with you, friend. Don't let people with an axe to grind and with a motivation and a bias because they don't want to live in a world with God, because they want to be their own gods and do what they want, cheat you through philosophy and through lies about being open to God. I'm not making money by making this video. I'm pleading with you. Spiritual comes from the Spirit, and the Spirit controls the seen realm. All you have to do is what I did. Over 15 years ago, I humbled myself. I said, God, if you're real, Jesus, if you're true, show me who you are. And He began a journey in my life and proved to me that He was real and I'm born again. Anyway, that's all the time we got here at Kingdom Culture. God bless you. Thanks for listening. Keep on keeping on, and we'll come back again. Take care.